Okay, everyone, we're going to talk first about the 654 trade, which is a conservative signal with some of the best moves and largest targets. In order to enter a 654 trade, we need 654 in order. We need a higher low of the HFS2 M15 buy signal fire for a buy, or a lower high of the sell signal for a sell. If you do not have a higher low or lower high, you can still check a trade, or an institutional wave after the HFS2 fire with 654 in direction, not order, but direction, even if it breaks the low, high, no trade point. So let me show you about the no trade point and what that means. So this is what the sample signals warning of a possible upcoming trade are going to look like. So the no trade point is right here. It says no entry if price hits this particular price before entry fire. And we have just added in there that it will say unless IW wave after. So like this, like you see right here, it says unless IW after. That's what that means when we say even if it breaks that high-low no trade point that you see in the signals. So there will be no entry if it breaks a certain price point unless there's an IW fire after. And again, that is a more aggressive trade. So your conservative target on a 654 is going to be an H1, HFS3 H1 fire. An aggressive target is going to be an H4. You want to protect your profits if that's in your trading plan before you're waiting for these targets to be hit. Stop loss, if you're going to use one, is going to be the lowest point since the 4 fire, or a prior daily low, or a 2 low. I'll show you what that looks like in the chart. You're going to take a few more hits with a stop loss, but it'll also help you conserve equity as well. So let's go look at a few trades in order and in direction for the 654 strategy. So here's a couple of trades that are in direction. The 5 is long, and if you look way back beforehand, the 6 is long and the 4 is long. Now this is a higher low fire on the 2, but it's only direction. It is not in order. So when we turn around and have an institutional wave fire, there's a 3 long, there's a 3 short, 3 long, 2 long, there's an institutional wave fire. You can take this trade, but it's a pretty aggressive trade. This is a better trade. We have now had an institutional wave fire, and it's an aggressive entry. Here's a little better entry that we'll probably call out in the room because I now have a higher low. I've had an institutional wave fire. It would have been lovely to have this institutional wave fire on a 2 by itself. It happens to be on a 3 and a 2, but as you can see, it works very well. This is in direction. So we must have an institutional wave after 654 is in direction with a reset of the 3 or the 2. So let's go over to order. There's a 5 long, there's a 5 short, 4 long, 4 short, 4 long, 2. This is a trade here as well. 654 are now in order right there. There's a 2 long, 2 short, a 2 short, 2 long, and an entry. So now let's look at this particular trade a little bit closer so you can see what's going on here. Now, we have the 4 fire, the 2 short, and the 2 long. This would meet the parameters of a conservative trade. There is the bottom, which is where if you were running a stop, where you would put your stop loss for this entry. And your conservative target's a 3, your aggressive target is a 4. The next trade we would see would be 4-3 long, 2 short, 2 long. Now, this is back in order again, correct? You're looking for a 2 long fire. Now, there's the low. Once it crosses this particular point right here, it is no longer a conservative trade. It is an aggressive trade. But it still works. We have a 2 long, which you would not take until you saw the IW fire, because as it says, you need a higher high of the HFS2 or a higher low of, or a lower high of the HFS2 for a sell. We do not have a higher low of this 2 fire long right here, so you would not take the trade. Then when you saw excuse me, when you saw the institutional wave after the HFS2 fire, you can go ahead and take the trade. Now, this one would not be an aggressive trade. This would still be considered a conservative trade because 654 are in order, not just direction. There's your two, there's your institutional wave, and an entry anywhere in there. Now, what do you do with your stop loss here? Because you're way down below. You're going to have to use a set stop loss price if you want to run one, or just let the trade run, and you can get in again here and again here. How do you trade that? Your targets are 3 and 4. There's the conservative target. There's the aggressive target. Well, when you're already in one trade and it's moved up and broke a high, broke a new position, came back down and give you another entry, you can, and we're going to show entries later in another video, how to do the actual entries. When you have another 2 long, you can take a new position in a trade right here and move this entry up to a break even to protect your equity in your account. Then you enter a trade here, it moves up to the 2 long, you look and see there's another trade. You can now move this trade up to a break even to protect the equity in your account. This trade enters, moves up to a 3 short and a 4 short. There's your conservative entry, there's your aggressive entry, and you have 3 trades that have just exited here and here. You can also, of course, take half a position out when it hits 2, half a position when it hits 2, half a position when it hits 2, and then the remaining positions at 3 or 4. Plenty of ways you can do that. Let's go look at another trade setup in here. Okay, here's a sell. Everything here is in direction. You notice there are no institutional waves in here. So even though this is a lower high, we do not take this trade. We do not take this trade. It is a higher high, no institutional wave. We do not take this trade even though it is a lower high, because there's the 5 and there's the 4. 6, 5, 4 are only in direction right here. Only in direction. Now there'll be other trades that we take that you'll see that you won't miss out in here. There's a 4-3-2 trade we'll show you later, and there's a beauty here, here, and here with an exit. So you'll see that. Now let's move on over, and we're going to now see the 654 in order. We had a 5 short back there, 4 long, 4 short. This is a 654 in order with a lower high. There's your entry, exit 1, exit 2. Now, you say to yourself, okay, wait, where do I put my stop loss? Well, you enter right there. If you are running a stop loss, it would be the high of this day. If you had a position in here and it came back up and gave you we have a 3 long, if it came back up and gave you a 3 short, then an institutional wave after, it is okay to take another position here to complement this position without waiting for a 2. It's more aggressive. You're always better to wait for a 2. So let's take a look at one more. Here again, we have 654 in order with an institutional wave. This is a higher 2. The institutional wave is not after the 2. Now we have a lower 2 and a lower 2 fire. Your stop loss would be up here. If you carried one, your entry would be here. First target here and second target way over here. So this is why if you want to add in to your positions while you wait for the market to roll over and give you the trade that you're looking for, if you're looking for an aggressive 4, it is okay to take this position here. Then the market pushes way up against you, gives you an institutional wave right there, which would be a very, very aggressive entry. You might as well wait for it to roll over and give you a better trade, which is this one here and this one here. Okay, so let's get rid of that one. So if you did enter a position here and you were looking for a 4 for an exit, it is okay to add on a position here and add on a position here. Now, if you were trading a very conservative setup, you would have a position entry here and you would be out right away when this fired. You would have an entry here and an entry here. When you entered here, you'd move profit to protect this one to a break even, and you'd be out of both trades here or at the least here. And that's how you trade the 654, both in direction and in order.
Thanks for stopping to see us. Full risk warnings disclaimers can be seen at forexdknr.com/legal.